Well, how y'all doing, boys? It's been a long time. Well, if you consider one day a long time, of course you do, because you miss me, obviously. But yeah, guys, it's been crazy. Back-to-back uploads. One video yesterday, one video today. Both about Palmon. Let's get it! Today we're going to talk about the best single Palmon to max out first. We're going to talk about 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎. We're going to talk about 5 strongest Palmons in the game, so you don't have to waste your UR tokens or resources or XP tokens on upgrading a weak-ass Palmon. Hopefully not. Although, even if you do, there is a reset voucher in the game, so you can just reset it and get your goodies back. So, that being said, in order for you to upgrade your Palmons, you need to upgrade your camp level first, because upgrading your camp level not only allows you to upgrade the level of other buildings, but the level of your Palmons as well. And in this little infographic right here, we can see the pre-requirement buildings for each camp level. For example, right now, I'm trying to push to camp level 24, and for that, I need to have a squad 1 at level 23, and research lab at level 23. And also after camp level 18, the field lab or research lab is always going to be a requirement for you to upgrade your camp. And for example, after camp level 24, I'm going to unlock 25, and for that I need 𝒟𝒹𝒹𝓎 hut at level 24. So I'm going to upgrade that building in advance, so when I get to 24, I'm going to have that ready. As simple as that. So yeah, this picture is going to come in clutch, so you guys have to make sure to have it somewhere saved, because yeah, you're going to need it. So in order to increase your power, upgrading your camp comes in first priority, right? Focus on upgrading your camp and get it to level 30, and after that, you can focus on other buildings and upgrade them later, right? So first, focus on camp. That is the most important. The other building you should focus on is your bed, your Palmon beds, because your Palmons need a place to sleep on so they can be efficient and keep on working. Otherwise, they'll be tired and eventually they will stop working and their efficiency will drop, right? So what you want to do is upgrade the level of your Palmon beds to level 10. And at level 10, you get to unlock double decor beds, which gives your Palmons more sleeping space and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Next, let me briefly talk about stable, because many people apparently forget about how important or useful this is. So, when you build stable, you're gonna have pony for free, right? That is your basic pony, your basic horse. You can also buy this lion, right? The VIP premium lion, which is gonna cost you about $30. But when you buy that, it's not gonna replace pony. In fact, it's gonna stack up, right? They're gonna stack up on each other and you will benefit from both of them. Each one does different things. The pony increases the attack of your Palmons and the lion deals damage to the enemy Palmons, right? So each one does different things and they both stack. So if you're spending money, then I recommend you to buy the lion 100%. It's gonna cost you about $30, like I said, but it's 100% worth the money. And once you get the lion, make sure to upgrade them both at the same time. Don't leave the pony out. Upgrade the pony, upgrade the lion, and yeah, you're gonna use both of them in every battle. Ooh, and yeah, the lion gives you 30% march speed, whereas the pony gives you only 20%. So that's 10% extra march speed for you to move around. Alright then, now let's talk about the one Palmon that is worth maxing out. Like, it's worth to go all in on that Palmon and use your precious hard-earned UR tokens. And that Palmon is none other than 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎, aka the pay-to-win Palmon. Cause yeah, you cannot get 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎 on the map. The only way you can get her is either by investing UR tokens or by buying her bundle. So you can do both to upgrade her star levels, right? So 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎 is great. She does a great damage. She makes the enemy Palmon take more damage by dragging them into a dream and then dealing more damage to that one Palmon. So yeah, she's a great DPS, and you can even check it out for yourself by going to Palosium or check out the lineup of your best players in your server, and all of them have 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎 in their squad, in their first and best squad. 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎 is present. If you can afford it, buy the bundle and spare the UR tokens. If you can afford it, then do both. Maybe if you are free to play, then just spend your UR tokens and upgrade 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎. If you can get it to 3 or 4 stars, trust me, she will get you to places. Right, now let's talk about top 5 Palmons in the game as of right now. We already talked about 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎, she's one of them. Next one is going to be Ninjop. You can get him for free from hatchery, right? So you don't have to spend and go all crazy, because eventually you will get him to 5 stars from hatchery and from doing events. And also you can evolve him into his ultimate form and make him even stronger, right? After Ninjop, we have Buttplug or Buttplug, right? This guy can also be evolved and he's super great, has a very nice damage and also a nice debuff on the enemy Palmon, which reduces their defense, right? His damage is great because he does it in the form of AoE, right? Area of target, and he does damage to all 5 enemy Palmons in enemy squad, so that's great. And that is on his first skill. After butt plug, we have 𝒟𝒹𝓊, right? And you can get this guy from Shrine level 6 just before Temple gets unlocked. This guy is pure DPS, right? Purely made for damage, so a great late game addition to your squad. And after 𝒟𝒹𝓊, we have 𝒟𝒹𝓎. And unlike 𝒟𝒹𝓊, this guy is made for tankiness, right? Because his second skill gives you HP bonus, and he's also suited to be on the front row, right? He can take the damage, because once again, he got that health in him, right? He got a dog in him. A similar Palmon to 𝒟𝒹𝓎 is 𝒟𝒹𝓎, because both of them can stun the enemy for a few seconds, but 𝒟𝒹𝓎 is better than 𝒟𝒹𝓎. Why? Because he can stun the enemy by additional 1 second, right? So 𝒟𝒹𝓎 stuns the enemy for 2 seconds, whereas 𝒟𝒹𝓎 stuns the enemy for 3 seconds, right? They both have 70% chance to do that, but 𝒟𝒹𝓎 just does it a bit longer, and that longer is basically 1 second longer. So yeah, great Palmon. After 𝒟𝒹𝓎, we have 𝒟𝒹𝓎. And 𝒟𝒹𝓎 is once again AoE commander, AoE Palmon, just like butt plug. And you can see that from its third skill, which can be either single damage or AoE damage to 3 targets. Here's me trying to capture 𝒟𝒹𝓎. I have 3 attempts in total, right? So the first one was a fail, the second one is gonna be a fail, and you know what they say, third time's the charm, right? So... what do I say, huh? What do I say, chat? What do I say, chat? This guy is already at 3-star, I'm trying to make him into 4-star, and looks like that's gonna take a while. It won't be anytime soon. Now let's talk about a few specific resources in game and where you can use them. The first resource is gonna be Evolution Essence, and the only place you're gonna use that is in evolving your Palmons into their ultimate form. For example, Ninjump, right? My Ninjump is already at level 3, well, he's about to be level 3 very soon. I'm just missing about 40 evolution essences to upgrade him to level 3, and then I believe it's gonna be about 160 evolution essence to make him to level 4, and then unlock his ultimate or expertise. So yeah, as you guys know, evolving your Palmons make them stronger, gives them more attributes, right, more power, and for now you can only evolve 2 Palmons. One is Ninjump, the second one is butt plug. And I recommend you guys to first focus on evolving Ninjump because he's easier to obtain, right? You can also get him for free from hatchery, like I said before, whereas butt plug, it is not as easy as Ninjump, and you have to have enough Palmon catchers and be lucky to catch them on the map, right, from shrines. So that's one thing to keep in mind, and always try to focus on one by one, right? First upgrade and max Ninjump, and once after that, you can do butt plug. But never ever focus on 2 projects at once, because you will come short in evolution essences, and these things are kinda hard to get, right, unless you're buying them from the bundles. And there are 3 ways in total to get evolution essences. One is obviously from the bundles, by buying bundles. Second one is from doing events. And the third one is by buying it from Trial Shop using your trial coins. And you get trial coins by completing Trial of Growth missions. So there are 4 missions in total: fire, earth, electric, and water, right? Just by every nature type. So you complete those, you get coins upon completion, and also you get coins every single day when you log into the game after reset. The next resource is gonna be Opus Pearl, right here as you can see, and you use it to ascend your equipment, right? And to unlock more attributes and increase the power of that equipment. So for example, if we go to my Ninjump, we go to equipment, we can see my shield, for example, is already at 2 stars. I have ascended it twice, and at 1 star I get plus 100 defense, at 2 stars I get damage bonus versus water, world boss by 10%. At 3 stars I get 30,000 HP or health, which is super great, right? And for that, I'm missing about 18 Opus Pearls, which I gotta save and use it to upgrade my shield. I'm also have my mask at 1 star, and at that I get again 100 defense. At 2 star I get damage bonus versus electric world boss, so this time not water, this time electric. And at 3 star, I get again 30,000 HP, right? So Opus Pearls are very important to ascend your equipment and make them stronger, right? And all of these bonuses and buffs and attributes apply to everywhere, right? They apply to either lands, they apply to Pelusium, they apply to PvP, PvE, on the map fights, right? Shrine captures, every single thing. These buffs apply and stack from multiple equipments. So always make sure to do it and never skip equipments. And yeah, you can get Opus Pearl either by buying the bundle, you can get it also from Prestige Shop by spending 16,000 Prestige per Pearl, and also you can get it from VIP Shop and in there it's going to cost you 700 gems per Pearl, so your choice. And also there is another free way to get it, and that is by completing certain missions and milestones inside Idlelands. Next, let's briefly talk about tech tree and the best way you can upgrade your techs so you can power up very fast. And that tech is none other than development. Like I said before many times, you gotta focus, or no, not just focus, let me just say your priority, your top priority gotta be on development tree, right? In development tree, you get to unlock and also upgrade techs that reduce the time of everything you're doing, either construction, either research, either training amigos or healing your troops. So very important for power up, right? Very important. Or to put it simple in another way, this tree saves you speed ups. It saves you construction, research, training and healing speed ups, which you'll need during emergencies, later on in the game, during events, right? Server versus server, guild versus guild, and so on. In those times you need your speed ups, right? And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Focus on development tree. Once you have that done, then you can focus on growth, then you can focus on PvP, and so on. We are not done with Palmons just yet, so let's also talk about their best traits or their best attributes, right? And one of them is right here in front of your eyes. That is Vigorous, which gives us 10% HP or health. Inferior form to Vigorous, it is Robust, and Robust gives us only 7% health, right? Whereas Vigorous gives us 10%, 3% additional health, which is great, right? And you're just gonna be lucky to get that either from hatchery or from obtaining a Palmon by catching it on the map and hoping that that Palmon gives you this trait so you can save it and then use it to breed other Palmons and give this trait to your other Palmons. Another great trait, it is Unshakable. Right here, as you can see, that is 10% defense. Inferior version of that, it is only 7% defense. So this one is a great choice to have, and I got it totally randomly by catching this manta ray from Shrine level 1. About Palmons who do your jobs for you, for example this guy, who reduces the healing speed in your hospital, and for these Palmons, you just need to have attributes related to what they do. This guy reduces the healing speed by 8% when assigned to healing, right? So there you go, that's why we have Healing Touch as a legendary attribute on this Palmon. Whereas if you go to this Palmon, this guy reduces the training time inside amigo huts, right? Basically less time for you to train troops. And for that, you're gonna want to have Coach. And this trait reduces training time by 8% when assigned to training. As simple as that. And of course, you don't always get the right traits on the right Palmons. So in that case, what you want to do is breeding, right? Breeding your Palmons. Or to put it more simple, transferring one trait or two traits or three traits or four traits from one Palmon or two parent Palmons into their child, into the new Palmon. And that's exactly what I'm doing right here. There is still 15 hours remaining on this breeding. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to speed this up. And for this breeding, I am breeding two manta rays, right? I'm breeding this manta ray with this attribute, and the other parent is this manta ray with this attribute, right? So my goal is to get the double S tier attributes, right? The first one was attack, the second one was 10% defense, and I'm hoping to get both of them, right? So let's see what I'm gonna get. Claim, and is it double S tier? Is it? All right. It's not double S tier, but it is a quadruple, right? We got one S, two A, and one B. Better than nothing, right? Better than nothing. So it is actually, it turned out better than I expected. At least we got Unshakable, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace that as my main manta ray. My main manta ray has attack attribute, right? And I'm going to replace that with defense, with 10% defense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the baby manta ray we just got from breeding, and I'm going to click on change, on swap, and I'm going to swap that with my main manta ray. And what this is going to do is going to transfer all the star level, all the XP level, all the equipment into the new Palmon that we just got. As simple as that. There you go, it's done. And now that new manta ray is basically my main one with the new attribute, and especially that 10% defense one, which is great to have. But yeah, that's pretty much how breeding works. The Palmon on the left is going to be the baby. The Palmon on the right is going to be not the baby, but the parent that the Palmon gets its attributes from, right? So we're going to choose a Ninja on the left. I'm going to choose manta ray on the right, and hoping to get both S tier traits on the baby, right? So from the Ninja, I'm getting 10% attack. From manta ray, I'm getting 10% defense. And hopefully the baby has both S tier attributes, that is 10% defense and 10% attack. Let's see how we get in 24 hours. Well, it took me 9 months to be born, but apparently for Palmons it only takes 1 day. God damn, these guys are fast. Overall, when choosing attributes or traits for your Palmons, choose them in this way. If your Palmon is focused on DPS, which is dealing damage per second, choose attributes which give those Palmon health and defense, right? Basically making them tanky. Because if those Palmons die, then that's a waste of damage, right? So you need to give them health so they can last longer, they can stay alive longer. Whereas for Palmons who are focused more on tankiness and defense, for those Palmons you're going to want to give attributes which increases their attack, which increases their damage, right? For example, Dolphin, for this guy, you're going to want to give him attack attributes, damage attributes, because they already got tankiness and they can manage staying alive just fine, right? They just need attack. Whereas for Palmons like 𝒟𝒂𝓈 or 𝒟𝒂𝓈, who are focused mainly on DPS, they are lacking health, they are lacking tankiness, right? And you're going to want to give those guys attributes like 10% health, 10% defense, and so on. Just pretty much balancing it out, right? Balance between dealing damage and taking damage. And once you figure that out, then you're going to have the best squad in the game, no cap.
And you treat us like dogs!
Hector, this isn't personal.
It is! It is personal!